Well, I can remember as far back as being, I guess, in like second or third grade, and going to church. But I don't remember. I don't remember being in church and learning anything, or really grasping what I was there for. Um, so to know that Jesus existed was something that I knew as a child, but not until just a few years ago as an adult did I actually have a relationship with him. I had been on 2 deployments with the Army National Guard, and I remember picking up one of the little Bibles they had, and I kept it almost like a good luck charm, because I didn't read it. It was just like, okay, God protect me, please, and like I said, I didn't know that the relationship that I needed, inside, that was missing, was to know God and to actually open his book and actually read those words, instead of thinking that just the book itself is going to protect me. I did believe that as a husband and a father, that it was my responsibility to be that spiritual leader in my family, and me not knowing where to go, I felt like I was the blind leading the blind. We had heard about Life Fellowship, never thought that it was even a church that we would go to. You hear weird things, when it comes to non-denominational churches, handling snakes and stuff, and yeah, I was like, yeah, no, not for me. But then one night, I believe it was like a Wednesday night, and to tell you the truth, my 10-year-old Maya, I think she might have been 8 at the time, was asking to go to the church. They wanted to go, and she straight up told me, "Dad, I want to learn about Jesus, and how can I say no to my 8-year-old, hey, I want to, learn about Jesus." So she went. They'd come back and tell me great things, just good things. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we should give it a chance. And I believe Britt had a friend that invited us. My wife Britt ended up going first. I work on the railroad, so I'm out of town a lot. Don't really have a schedule, so I didn't make it to church until probably maybe the 3rd time that she had went on a Sunday. I remember talking to her over the phone that first time she went, and she basically said she was in tears the entire worship service. And then when pastor spoke, it felt like it was, just right to her heart, and, like God was calling her, like, that this was the place to be when it comes to, her faith and finding salvation and the truth. Finally got to go to Life Fellowship for the first time, and yeah, I've never felt that way in any church. I mean, I've been to several different churches in my life, as a kid and as an adult, but the feeling that during the worship service, the music speaks to your heart, like, completely, like that. I really do believe that it's something like nothing else, and then when your pastor actually speaks from the Bible and teaches truth, and sometimes hard truths. There's several times where I've come out of church and talked to Pastor Keith about his sermon, and just how real it was. There was just it was just truth, and didn't hold back. Times like that, it's definitely makes me realize that we made the right decision to start coming to Life Fellowship. My wife had to kind of reel me in at one point. I was when this all first started to change, I almost quit my job at the railroad because it wasn't allowing me to go to church every Sunday. And I said, you know what, I'll put it in God's hands. We'll make it somehow. I have faith, and I think if it wasn't for Britt to just reel me back and say, "Baby, wait a second," I was all in, and then I don't know if it was pretty soon where I did do some more studying and read, where when you're saved and when you find salvation, when you hear the call, that wherever you are, you just stay there. Don't be drastic about it. I've read that, and that kind of spoke to me in that way, where, okay, well, maybe I can reach people at work. If I could be that light out there, and really try and reach other people, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. At the end of the day, I'm pleased with where I'm at, and what I've been drawn to do. My relationship that I have with God is beyond what I thought it could ever be. I know it's not about the things we do, but it's an overwhelming feeling of the things we just have to do and that we want to do. And those feelings I haven't felt before. I've always been a do the right thing kind of guy, but now it's almost a burning sensation that you want to do more. I'm most thankful for that feeling of welcomeness, like I've never felt before. I mean, you're truly a family environment. Just the church really does make you feel welcome when it all the pastors that are there, you guys, the worship team. It's just my kids. You can't fool a kid. A kid's going to tell you straight up or not if they love being somewhere, and they really do enjoy going to church. If they miss for some reason, they do miss it when we miss it. So that's Life Fellowship's doing something right if your kids are wanting to go. For someone that hasn't really made a decision on where to go to church, or if Life Fellowship is a good place for them, I would say there's absolutely nothing to be anxious about. There's absolutely nothing to worry about. Come as you are. It's such a loving and welcome environment. I mean, it's life, and it's a mixture of people that have been raised in the church from the time they were born, to people like me, where I was raised in a different religion, but thought I knew God, and didn't know anything about a non-denominational style environment. It's the way church, I believe, should be.